Hey Sarah, did you see the photos from our honeymoon?
Oh, hello, Emma. Yes, I did see them.
I posted them on social media. Please comment on them soon.
Of course I saw them. Looks like you had a wonderful honeymoon in the medievals.
It was absolutely amazing. Did you see the bungalow overlooking the water we stayed in?
Yes, it looked beautiful. The water was so clear and blue.
We spent $30,000 on it. I can't believe we got to stay in such an amazing bungalow. It was the best experience ever.
Wow, that's quite a luxurious trip. Spending $30,000 on a honeymoon is incredibly extravagant.
Well, for a special occasion like this, it's only natural. Besides, we should spend what we earn. After all, we're a power couple, a doctor and a nurse.
I see. That's great, Emma. It's admirable how cool and nonchalant you are about spending money.
Oh, sorry if I sounded like I was bragging. It must be tough for you lower-class folks who can't even afford a vacation.
Excuse me?
I mean, your husband Jack is just a lowly manual laborer, right? And you're just a part-time worker. There's no way such a poor couple could afford a vacation. Actually, we're not really into traveling or going out much.
What? That's unbelievable.
We're busy every day, so we prefer to relax at home during our time off. If you work hard, you should play hard too. Oh, I'm sorry. You probably can't afford to go out because you don't earn enough.
That's not it at all. We just have different priorities.
It must be tough with your husband being lower class. A lower class carpenter probably has a tough job with low pay, and your part-time job probably doesn't contribute much to the household incomes. So, no wonder you can't afford to go out even if you want to.
Emma, that's enough. Can you please stop? I've been quiet, but you've gone too far insulting our jobs like that.
Oh, sorry. I guess I accidentally said what I was thinking.
Excuse me? Wow, are you for real?
The reality is that everyone thinks this way deep down, you know. Lower-class people have to work hard every day getting all sweaty outside, yet their pay is so low. Lower-class people are just used as labor. Unlike us successful couples, you and Jack are losers in life.
How do you say such horrible things? It's incredibly rude to look down on other people's job.
Well, since we're being rude anyways, let me ask you something. Are you two still renting?
Yes, we're renting a house. Why do you ask?
Wow, you're even more pitiful than I imagined. How embarrassing that you build houses for others as a lower-class worker but can't even own your own home.
Excuse me?
Actually, we're planning to build our own house. Of course, it'll be a beautiful home for us. A doctor couple, if you like. We could let you build it for us. I'll graciously provide work for the lower-class couple.
What an incredibly rude attitude. Your condescending, graciously provide work comment is so offensive.
Well, we're clearly superior in terms of income and social status. Oh, but now that I think about it, I'm not sure if I want to trust a low-class couple with building our house. We wouldn't want a poorly built new home. I guess we should go with a reputable large company for this kind of thing.
This is ridiculous. We wouldn't build your house even if you begged us. The way you look down on people, that kind of attitude will come back to bite you someday.
Don't get upset just because you're not getting the job I was so kindly offering. Well, keep struggling with this poor life.
I think this conversation is over, Emma. Goodbye.
Hey, Sarah. If my brother contacts you, just ignore him, okay?
What's wrong? Did you have a fight with Tom?
It didn't even get to that point. Actually, Tom contacted me. He said they're building a new house.
Oh, I heard about that from Emma. They finished their honeymoon and now they're building a new house.
Then Tom asked me to build it for them. Of course, I was planning to give him a discount as his brother. But get this. He wanted me to build it for just $10,000.
What? You mean $10,000 total, not a $10,000 discount? That's impossible. A two-story house with a basement garage for just $10,000.
There's no way I could do that. So I refused.
So that's why you're having issues with your brother?
He complains about my job and income all the time. But he sure acts entitled when he wants something. He even got angry and called me a lower-class carpenter when I refused. That's why I've decided I'll never build a house for them. If Emma contacts you, please refuse as well.
Of course, I'll refuse with every fiber of my being. I already turned down Emma when she talked to me about it.
Oh, did she say something to you too?
Emma consulted me about the house too, but more of that, she insulted our jobs. She was so condescending, saying she'd graciously provide work for us, like I was supposed to be grateful.
Who do they think they are? Those two are the worst.
That's why I got angry too. I told her we wouldn't build it even if they begged.
They really are the opposite of us, aren't they? I respect doctors and nurses. They do important work. That doesn't give them the right to look down on other people's jobs. This really shows how incompatible we are with my brother and his wife. Let's keep our distance from them from now on.
I completely agree. Anyways, let's both do our best at work today. Catch you later.
Hey Sarah, I guess you really are a poor couple, more than I imagined, living in a place like that.
Emma, what are you talking about?
What? I just saw you coming out of a rundown house. I know you're renting, but how can you live in such a disappable place? It looks like it would collapse in a strong wind.
Emma, what are you doing in this area? Aren't you living in a luxurious high-rise near the station?
Actually, we're thinking of building a house somewhere around here. I was just taking a walk to get a feel for the neighborhood. Then I saw this incredibly rundown house.
And you saw me coming out of it, huh?
I was wondering who could possibly live in such a place, and then you came out. I couldn't help but laugh. Life can be funny sometimes.
It's quite rude to laugh at someone's house.
Anyone would laugh at a house like that. It must be at least 50 years old. It's old and ugly with cracks up the wall. Don't you think it's stupid to pay rent for such a dump?
It is 50 years old and quite old, but that means the rent is cheap.
I guess it's tough when your husband has a lower class job, living in a drafty old house just to save on rent.
There you go again, calling my husband lower class.
Well, it's true, isn't it? Making his wife live in such a miserable condition with his low salary? I could never do it. I'd rather be homeless than live in a house like that.
I'm actually quite happy with that house.
You're just pretending to be strong. You must hate living in such a dump. Aren't you embarrassed to live in a place like that? Why don't you just go on welfare?
That's just our storage shed.
What?
We don't actually live there. It's just fine as a storage place. It's just a shed, so as long as it has a roof and walls to keep out the rain and wind, it's okay. We have a proper, nice house where we actually live, so we don't need welfare.
Huh? What do you mean? Are you saying you're renting a separate house just for storage?
We're only renting the house we live in. We actually bought that place as a storage shed.
You bought that old dump?
By the way, that area is such a great location. Even that old building is worth about $500,000 just for the land.
And you're saying you bought it?
You got it. It costs about that much, but we had enough cash to pay for it in full. What? A lower-class carpenter paid in full? Don't say such ridiculous things. I'm not joking. I'm telling you the truth. Even if you call him a lower-class carpenter, Jack also runs a real estate business on the side. We actually own 6 apartment buildings and 30 houses in the city. Thanks to that, we can easily pay $500,000 in cash.
What? Real estate business? What do you mean? I never heard about this before.
Your husband, Tom, probably doesn't know either. That's right. Actually, we started the real estate business as a side job about 10 years ago. We buy rundown houses, and Jack renovates them himself. Then we rent them out or sell them for a profit.
Is it really true that you own 6 apartment buildings and 30 houses in the city?
We've worked pretty hard, haven't we? Fortunately, all the properties we own are fully occupied. We're getting a good income from the rent. I'd say we're quite successful.
This isn't just quite successful. This is a huge success. I thought you were just a carpenter and a part-time worker, but you're running a real estate business? That's amazing. Carpentry is an incredible job, isn't it? Being able to build such a nice house with your own hands and skills.
That's why I wanted to help, so I quit my full-time job. As a part-time worker, it's easier to take time off and help with his side business.
So that's why? I thought you were just incapable of getting a full-time job.
If anyone's incapable, it might be you, Emma. You're full of prejudice and unreasonably look down on other people's jobs.
What did you just say?
That's not what intelligent people do now, is it? Well, I'll be going now. I'm busy helping my husband with his work today. I need to get some tools from the storage shed.
Sarah, do you have a moment? There's something I want to ask you about.
What is it? Do you need me to get something else from the storage shed?
Oh no, it's not that. It's about our real estate business. Did you say anything to my brother Tom? I don't remember telling him, but he seems to know about our side business.
I'm sorry, I actually told Emma about it. Tom probably heard it from Emma. Was that bad?
Nah, not like we were trying to hide it, so it's fine. We just didn't bother telling anyone. Oh, so that's why. Now I understand why he suddenly contacted me in a panic.
Did he ask you to build a house for them again?
No, this time he asked me to lend him money. He said if we have so much money, we should buy a house for them.
What?
Apparently, they want to build a house worth about $1 million. But the interest and fees would be high if they took out such a large mortgage. So they asked us to pay for it in full. They said they'd pay us back little by little, even if it'd be tough.
What selfish and unreasonable people. First, they asked you to build a house for $10,000, and now they want $1 million? And if they're gonna struggle to pay us back, there's no benefit for us.
Exactly. Of course I refused. I told them we have $3 million in savings, but we won't give them a penny.
What? You told them how much we have in savings?
Well, I just wanted to say something back after all the times they looked down on us. They've been so arrogant, and now they have the nerve to ask for money? I feel like it was my turn to brag a little. Just once, you know?
That's totally fine. I'm so tired of those two.
But let's not get complacent. We'll keep working hard together. At this point, it's more of a hobby than just making money.
You do look so happy when you're building. I love seeing you like that, and I'll keep supporting you.
Thank you for always helping me. Oh, my brother and his wife contact you. Just keep ignoring them as usual.
Got it. Sarah, are you there? Please respond. Yes, Emma, what is it? Please don't ignore us. Just listen to us for a bit. We're in a really bad situation right now. If this continues, our lives will be ruined. What's wrong? Oh, you finally replied, Sarah. Thank you so much for responding. I knew you would help us. I never said I would help you. Just explain what's going on. By the way, didn't you finally build your new house? Shouldn't this be the happiest time for you? You sound like you're in trouble. That's right. We finally built our dream house, but we took out such a big loan that our very lives are in danger. Our savings are almost gone and our debt keeps growing. What? How did this happen? We didn't want to lose you two. So we had no idea you were so wealthy. We wanted to at least build a grand house to show off. So we built a house that cost about 3 times our budget to get the upper hand over you. 3 times your budget? I heard you were planning to build $1 million house. Are you saying you spent $3 million on your new home? Yes, and our monthly mortgage payment is $8,000. That much? How can you afford that? We can barely make the payments, and now we can't afford to eat or travel, which we love doing. Going out was our favorite hobby. Yeah, I got the impression. You even spent $30 million just on your honeymoon. You were always traveling around abroad and domestically. But we can't suddenly start living frugally, so we're in the red every month. We've never been in debt before, so we quickly turned to payday loans. Now we're borrowing money from one place to pay off the loans from another. That does sound like a life-ruining situation. Wouldn't it be better to sell the house at this point? No way. I absolutely refuse. We just built our dream mansion. We invited so many friends over to show it off. It would be too embarrassing to sell it now. Then what are you going to do? Are you going to let this ruin your lives? That's why I contacted you, Sarah. Please, I'm begging you, please help us financially. Can you pay off our mortgage for us? What? Of course, we'll pay back any help you give us. We'll pay it all back with interest, so please help us. Don't you think it's more embarrassing to borrow money from the lower-class couple you look down on? Well, yes, but we can't go back now. Look, I'm sorry for looking down on you before. You're finally apologizing, but it's still not happening. I asked Jack, but he doesn't want to help you either. No way. Please, Sarah, we're desperate. Can't you talk to Jack again? Weren't you bragging about being such a power couple? I'm sure you two amazing people like you can overcome this. Sarah, please, we made a mistake. We were arrogant and stupid, but we really need your help now. Emma, you and Tom have been looking down on us for years. You've insulted our jobs, our lifestyles, and our choices, and now you want us to bail you out? I know, we're terrible, but people can change, right? We've learned our lesson. Have you really? Or are you just saying that because you need our money? No, I mean it. This whole situation has been a wake-up call for us. We realize now how shallow and misguided we were. That's good to hear, Emma, but it doesn't change our decision. We won't be helping you. But what are we supposed to do? We can't keep up with the payments. We're drowning in debt. Have you considered downsizing, selling the house and moving to somewhere more affordable? But all our friends know about the new house. It will be so humiliating to sell it now. More humiliating than going bankrupt. More humiliating than losing everything? I don't know. We've worked so hard to maintain this image. And that's exactly the problem, Emma. You've been living for other people's approval, not for yourselves. But what would people think if we sell the house? Who cares what they think? You need to do what's best for your financial health and your future. I guess you're right, but it's so hard to let go of everything we've built. Emma, a house is just a building. Your well-being and your relationship with Tom are far more important. You're right. I know you're right, but it's so scary to start over. Starting over is better than counting down a path that's clearly leading to disaster. I suppose so, but even if we sell the house, we'll still be in debt. The market has gone down since we bought it. That's unfortunate, but it's still better than continuing to pile on more debt every month. You're probably right. I just wish we had listened to you earlier. We were so stupid. Well, at least you're realizing that now. It's not too late to make changes. I guess not, but we really could use some help. Are you sure you won't reconsider? Emma, I'm sorry, but our answer is final. We won't be giving you money. Not even a loan? We'll pay it back, I swear. No, Emma, not even a loan. You need to figure it out on your own. But we're family. Doesn't that mean anything? Family doesn't insult each other and look down on each other for years, Emma. You and Tom made your choices. Now you have to deal with the consequences. I can't believe you're being so cold after all we've been through. All we've been through? You mean all the times you belittled us and treated us like we were beneath you? That was in the past. Can't you forgive us now? Forgiveness doesn't mean we have to give you money, Emma. Fine, I guess we both know where we stand now. Thanks for nothing. Emma, I hope you and Tom can figure this out. I really do. But it won't be without money. Good luck. Whatever, I guess blood isn't thicker than water after all. Goodbye, Emma.
Hey, did Emma contact you again?
Yes, she did. She was begging for money.
Well, let me guess. They can't afford the new mansion.
Exactly. They're drowning in debt. Emma wanted us to pay off their mortgage.
Unbelievable. The nerve of those two.
I know. I told her we wouldn't help them.
Good. They made their bed. Now they have to lie in it.
I feel a little bad for them, though. They're really in a tough spot.
Don't feel bad, Sarah. They brought this on themselves with their arrogance and overspending.
You're right. I just hope they figure it out somehow.
They will. They might have to eat some humble pie, but they'll figure it out.
I guess so. It's just sad to see how their choices have led them to this point.
That's life. Sometimes you have to learn lessons the hard way.
True. Well, I've blocked Emma's number now. I don't think we'll be hearing from them.
Good. Let's focus on our lives and business. We've worked hard to get where we are.
You're right. I'm proud of what we've accomplished together.
Me too. Now, how about we go check on that new property we're renovating?
Sounds great. Let's go. Jack and I immediately blocked Tom and Emma's numbers. We explained the situation to our parents and relatives, so we'll never hear from those two again. Rumor has it that that once proud power couple, overwhelmed by loan repayments, made frequent mistakes at work and eventually committed a major medical error, resulting in their dismissal. They finally sold their mansion, but by then their debt had grown about $200,000. Now they're living in a small apartment, working hard to pay off their debts.
Hey Donna, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to move in with you from today. So thanks for letting us into your home. I am just finishing up with packing up our stuff and then I'm going to head over. Wait, what? What are you talking about, Sandra? You're going to come and live with us? I never remember hearing about any of this before. When was this decided? Well, I just really miss my brother, and so that's why I'm going to be moving in with you. I mean, I just can't do anything around the house without him, and it's been so lonely since he moved out. I just really want to be around you all. So that's why I am moving out of my parents' place and going to come and live with you. Sorry, you want to move into our house because you miss your brother? Is that really it? Yeah, that's right. You see, the thing is that Oral has been doing things for me ever since we were little kids. Like, if I told him that I was hungry, he would always cook something for me, and if there was a bug in my room, he would always come and kill it for me. But ever since Oral married you, he's hardly ever come home at all, and I just knew that the only way I could be close to him was by moving out of home. I guess I just really can't live without my big brother. Sarah, I'm really sorry to break this to you, but Oral and I agreed that when we got married, we would want it to be just us, so I don't think that you can just move in with your family. No, that isn't fair. You can't just do that to me. He's still my older brother, and you can't take him away from me. I want him to take care of me, and I always get what I want. Are you okay? Is this normally how you react to things with your brother? Please, you don't understand. I can hardly take care of myself. I don't know how to cook or clean or anything like that, and Mom and Dad are even worse at it than I am. They are always being jerks and telling me that I need to learn how to cook for myself and keep my space clean. But it's not my fault that I used to always be able to go and ask Oral for help when I was little. I mean, my parents don't even cook for me anymore. Do you get that? And I don't know how to cook anything for myself. I need my brother. Okay, I get that. It can be tough to take care of yourself sometimes, but you're an adult, Sandra. I'm sorry, but it doesn't sound at all like your parents are being unreasonable to me. And just because you choose to live with them even after getting married doesn't mean that you can expect them to do everything for you. But it was always my brother who was doing stuff for me. All I ever had to do was just ask him, and whatever it was, he would make sure that it got done for me. Now, I just have my mean old parents never doing anything for me. That's why I want to go and live with my brother, got it? I mean, it's just one more person in your house. Surely you can't be that upset about just one more person living with you guys, right? Sandra, I am really sorry, but I've already made myself clear. The fact is that you can't come and live with us, okay? But why not? Seriously, tell me what is so bad about just one more person coming to live with you? Are you really so selfish that you can't even abide by that? The only reason I want to move in with you guys in the first place is just so that my older brother can take care of me. I promise that I won't get in your way at all. I'm sorry, but I've already given you my answer and it is final. Look, the truth is that I'm pregnant right now. So I just don't think we could really handle having someone else in the house with all that's already going on. Wait, you're pregnant? Since when? I had no idea about that. You mean that I'm going to be an aunt? That is so exciting! Well, we just found out. I wanted to make the announcement after some more time had passed so that I could be sure the pregnancy would keep. But anyways, things are already tough enough for us, and we have a lot of preparation we need to do before the baby arrives. So again, I'm really sorry, but you just won't be able to live with us, and that's that. Oh, come on, don't be like that. This works out even better, don't you get it? I mean, if you're pregnant and struggling, then that is all the more reason for me to go and live with you guys. And just how do you figure that, huh? Well, Oral is probably at work all of the time, right? So that probably means that you need an extra hand around the house to help you out during the day, yeah? I also don't have a job or anything like that, so I could just help you with whatever you needed. Wait a second, you don't have a job? What happened? Last I heard you did have one. Did you quit? Well, after Oral moved out, I didn't have anyone to complain to all about my work. No matter who I tried to talk to, nobody was interested in hearing it. I tried really hard to keep working, but there was nobody to listen to me complain, so the stress just kept building and building until I couldn't take it anymore. And in the end, I had had enough, and I decided to quit my job. So you really just quit your job because you didn't have anyone to complain to about it? Please tell me that's some kind of a joke. Nope, it's the truth. But on the plus side, it means that I can stay at home all day and help you out. I mean, I'm sure there are days when you don't feel good while you're pregnant, right? Well, you can just think of me as your live-in nurse, huh? And then I can help take care of you and my little niece or nephew when they're born.
Donna, are you there? I just heard the news from my sister about how she wants to come and live with us. I know that she was really missing having me at home, but I didn't think that she would go and do something like this.
I mean, I know that you told me about how much she likes you and how close you were when you were kids, but this is just taking it too far. You must have been really, really sweet to her when she was little, Oral. But now that you did that, she just runs wild, doing whatever she wants.
Yeah, I guess so. I was just trying to be a good older brother to her, but I guess it ended up backfiring. Now she's just a spoiled little girl who doesn't want to learn how to take care of herself. Then again, maybe that's something that hasn't changed all that much.
What do you mean by that, Oral?
I mean that I think that Sandra has honestly been a pretty selfish person ever since she was little. Whenever things didn't go her way, she would always burst into tears. She wouldn't stop crying until she got what she wanted. But my parents were also so stubborn about not giving in that every day was just such a mess in the house. Honestly, I probably did things for Sandra just because I wanted everyone in the house to stop fighting.
I see. I had no idea that things were that bad in the house when you were growing up, Oral. It must have been tough trying to play the peacemaker like you did at such a young age. Sandra told me about how you would cook for her when she was hungry and kill bugs for her when they were in her room. It sounds like you did so much just to keep things running smoothly in the house.
I know, but it wasn't just for my family, you know? It was just as much for my own sake, so I didn't go crazy. But there were other motives as well. You know how I got hired as head chef at that restaurant recently? Well, I used Sandra to test out a bunch of recipes that I was working on. And I killed the bugs in her room because I didn't want them showing up in mine later on. That's why I even kept her room clean for her.
I see. Well, I guess that all makes sense. But still, it can't have been easy on you.
It wasn't, but it is true that I did whatever my sister asked of me. Although, if I'm being honest, it always shocked me at how selfish she was. And I think over time I grew to really resent that she never really realized just how much I was doing for her. I thought that when you and I got married that I was finally going to be free of her.
Well, if it's any consolation, I tried to tell her that we just wouldn't be able to take her in and let her live with us. I told her about the pregnancy and everything, but she just wouldn't listen to me.
Well, I think that if she sees what it's like to live with us, then she'll go running back to Mom and Dad. I'll even call them and tell them that this won't last long, and to keep her room as is.
Well, okay, if you're sure about this. I guess having her here for a few days wouldn't be the worst thing. Donna, what is the matter with you? Are you seriously going back to your parents' house? What for? I don't understand it. If you're going to be over there, then how am I supposed to see what my little niece or nephew is going to look like when they're born? I want to be there when all of that happens. Well, I don't want any of that, and that's why I'm going back to stay with my parents for the time being. I was never going to do this originally, but I just can't stand being around you anymore. So you're saying that this is all my fault? Don't be ridiculous. Just what is wrong with me wanting to be a good aunt and be there for you, my sister-in-law, on the day that you give birth? Because that's just it. You're my sister-in-law and nothing else. This is going to be a big emotional day for me, and I would rather be with my parents than around you for it. You know that Oral and I told you that you would only be allowed to stay with us for a week, right? Well, it's been 2 months, and you're still in our house just being a freeloader. I have been so stressed out during that time that I just don't think I'll even be able to have this baby with you around. But I'm not even doing anything. How can you be so cruel to me for just wanting to be there for you? It's not like I'm partying all night or blasting loud music or anything. I have to get up several times in the middle of the night, and I hardly feel like I get any sleep at all. But at all hours of the night, I can hear you walking around the house and making all kind of racket, even if it's not loud music. I can hear the noise from whatever video games it is that you're playing coming from your room at almost all hours of the day. Even during the daytime, I can hardly ever get a moment to rest. If your hearing is really that sensitive, then maybe you should just walk around the house with earplugs. You're really telling me that I should have to walk around my own home with earplugs so that you can play your games? You're the guest here. You should be mindful of your host's needs after being here for so long. I mean, all you do is play games and eat. You never do anything to help out around the house at all. All of that sounds like your problem if you ask me. Besides, all you do is lie around the house too. You really think that just because you're pregnant, you can be resting all day like that? That really can't be good for the baby, you know. That's why I leave all the work for you to do, so it'll motivate you to move around more. Are you kidding me? Do you think this is some sort of game or something? Of course not. I'm just trying to get the mother of my niece or nephew off of her butt and moving around. Before I came here, you were probably just making my brother do all of your work for you, weren't you? You keep trying to act like I'm the selfish one, but you're the one who needs to keep relying on others for help. All I'm doing is keeping you on your feet and making sure that you don't fall out of practice when it comes to being a good housewife. Oh, you have got to be kidding me with that, right? You really think I'm going to buy any of that? If you think you're stressed, then I'm really, really stressed. And instead of dealing with the problem, you're just running away to your parents' house so that you don't have to clean the house. Well, if you're leaving, then I guess that means I'll just be taking my brother back then. I've already canceled the lease on your place, and I'll be taking my brother and moving back home with him. Wait, what? What do you mean you canceled the lease on our place? You can't be mad at me. Even Oral said that he was fine with this. He said that you weren't good enough to be his wife and that he doesn't want to be married to you anymore. He told me that he was just using you to have a kid and that's it. But now that you're about to have the kid, that means it's time to get rid of this house and for Oral and I to live together forever. And do you really expect me to believe that Oral just went along and agreed to all of this? Of course he did. I told you that my brother would do anything for me, didn't I? Well, here's just another example. You must have just had no idea that he was so stressed out living with you, huh? But he was happy to hear that you were finally going to leave us alone. I don't believe you. I don't think that Oral would ever do something like that. Well, he did, and now I'm taking this chance to take my brother back from you. You were so spoiled that you couldn't see that you were driving everyone away from you this whole time. Right. Well, good luck with that. Have a nice life, Sandra. That's what I meant to say to you, loser. You don't even have a home to go back to, and the moment that you have your kid, you are going to be getting divorce papers in the mail from Oral. So just go ahead and sign them and let him and I live in peace already, okay? We don't want you in our lives anymore. No, I'm afraid that it's you who is going to be living alone, Sandra. Or at the very least with your parents. What are you talking about? You have no idea what you're saying. I've won. I'm going to get Oral, not you. Why are you even mentioning my parents in this conversation? I guess you'll find out what I'm talking about soon enough. Good luck with everything. Hey, just what the heck is going on here, huh? Why am I getting taken here? Do you seriously expect me to live here from here on out? You mean you've already arrived? Wow, that was really fast. I guess that Oral must have gotten off work early just to get rid of you then. What are you talking about? Oral told me that he was going to take us to our new home. He said it'd be for him and I. I packed up my bags, threw them in the car, and we drove off. And now I see that he's just taken me to the lodge that our relatives run out in the boonies. He even told me I was going to be living and working here. Aw, did he say that? Well, I guess it sounds to me like you've been tricked. We tried to ask you to leave our house over and over again, but you just wouldn't listen. You have no one to blame but yourself for this. What are you talking about? I still have no idea what's really going on here. You better explain to me what is going on right now. Am I seriously supposed to work here? Oral told me that as soon as I stepped out of the car, and by the time I turned around to ask him what he meant, he had already driven off. You need to tell me what is going on right now. Okay, just calm down, Sandra. It really is quite simple. The fact is that Oral and I are both sick of having you live with us. So we came up with a plan that we were sure would trick you into leaving our home. Wait, so Oral lied to me? That's right. We tried to get you to move out over and over again, but nothing seemed to work. And because you weren't doing anything to help around the house at all, we knew that we had to do something. I was just getting so stressed out and was really starting to reach my limit with you. So Oral told me to go to my parents' house while he took care of you. But wait, I thought that Oral and I were the ones that had chased you out of the house. Oral and I were supposed to finally live together again. You really thought that was going to happen? But Oral always does what I say, and he knows that he can never say no to me. I always get my way. How could he trick me like this? It isn't fair. I hate this. Well, I'm afraid that your brother has been fed up with your antics for some time now. What do you mean? My brother loves doing things for me. That's why I always gave him a bunch to do. Well, if that were the case, then why did your brother lie to you and drive you out to that lodge then? It sounds to me like you got tricked and you just haven't faced up to reality yet. No, this can't be happening to me. My brother wouldn't do this to me. He wanted to live with me too. He's always taken care of me, and I was sure that that was what was going on now. You still just don't get it, do you? All your selfish actions over the years just drove him to hate you. Ever since he was little, you've been making him run around and do everything for you just so that you wouldn't throw a tantrum. And even when you grew up, you still just never learned to take care of yourself or be grateful to those doing things for you. You took advantage of your brother's kindness and never once thanked him for it. No, this can't be happening. I know that my brother loves me. You think you were getting your brother to love you more by constantly making him do everything for you? You think he enjoyed doing all the cooking and bug killing and room cleaning for you because you were too much of a spoiled brat to do it yourself? I never thought about it like that at all. It's clear to me that you probably never thought about anyone but yourself this entire time. You've been nothing but a burden on your whole family because you think the world owes you everything. All while you do nothing at all to pay back or show gratitude to those around you. But I just wanted to live with my older brother. This isn't fair. You both can't do this to me. I didn't do anything to deserve this. If you really feel that way, then I think working at that lodge your relatives own is going to be a good experience for you. Maybe you'll finally learn what it means to earn your own way through this world and what it's like to do things for others for once. This isn't a good thing. I don't want to learn any of that. I just wanted my brother to do everything for me. Besides, my aunt who runs this place is really strict. She'll work me to the bone. I seriously doubt that. It sounds to me like you're just scared to do a decent day's work is all. So you're really just going to leave me here? What am I supposed to do? How do I leave? I don't want to do this. If you don't want to do this, you can always just walk home, but you'll still have to figure out where you'll go after that. Neither your parents, nor Oral, or I want you living with us. But you can't do this to me, please! I didn't want things to go this way. They were supposed to go my way, like they always have. You can't do this to me! A few months later, Sandra's parents actually went up to the lodge for a vacation and to catch up with their relatives up there. Sandra was sure that they had come to take her back, and she greeted them with her packed bags. But her parents told her that they had just come to see if she had done any growing up at all in the time since she began her new job. They quickly learned that Sandra was not adjusting well and ended their stay early to go home without her. They even sold their house and moved out to the country so that not even Sandra could find them.